Uh, Caleb Williams, the number one overall pick in the draft, deemed the second coming of Patrick Mahomes by Hard Knocks and every analyst in the preseason. Let me give you his stats from week one.
Mm,
So the Bears did end up winning the football game. They scored a touchdown on the pick six, and they also scored with a blocked punt.
mm-hmm,
So Caleb Williams was 14 to 29, completion percentage 48.3, 93 yards, average of 3.2 yards per attempt. Uh, Passer rating of 55.7, and then a QBR of 23 and a half, which is 23 and a half out of 100.
mm-hmm.
So what did you guys take away from his opening performance? Do you put a lot of stock into it? Not too much. Just what did you get from his performance week one?
I think Caleb's gonna be all right, man. I don't put too much stock into it. I feel like he came out there, obviously, a lot of pressure on. He thought he was gonna do some things that he did in SC, run around the field, escape the pocket. He can't do that in the big leagues. But I mean, other than that, I feel like it's his first game. He got to get accustomed to the league, realizing what he can and cannot do. But I mean, you saw bright spots. I saw a lot of rollouts with him. Now check now to DJ Moore. So I mean, like he looked good. He looked like there's a lot of room for improvement. But I mean, first game, it's not nothing too crazy for me. And I
Yeah,
feel like, especially with a guy at his talent level, like that's gonna come. The game's gonna come to him pretty easy.
yeah,
Yeah, I generally agree with that. Like I wouldn't overreact to one game. And I think an important factor in was that he didn't turn the ball over. I know that there was like that one crazy batted pass that Roman Dunze ended up catching. That was like on a tip drill type of thing. That could have been a turnover, but him not turning the ball over, helped give them a chance to ultimately win the game. The defense made some plays, special team made some plays, but um, like he didn't win them the game, but he also didn't lose them the game by making costly turnover like what Will Levis did, making Will Levis did in that fourth quarter, making that
terrible.
awful decision, one of the worst decisions I've ever seen a quarterback make.
Yeah,
Um,
terrible.
and then, so you didn't see that rookie, like that terrible rookie mistake from him, which I thought was a positive sign. Obviously, he struggled, and I think he got the biggest improvement for him is going to be getting better at playing within structure. On those three-step drops, then five-step drops, being able to make quick reads, get the ball out on time, accurately, and get easy completions, to kind of keep them ahead of the chains, and so that he's not getting into those third and long situations as a rookie. Those are the last places you want to be, because that's when the defense coordinator is going to bring the house at you and give you exotic coverages and make a rookie quarterback, a young quarterback in this league, very uncomfortable. Um, and so I think that, getting as he gets more reps and comfortable with the speed of the game and just overall timing of with his receivers and everything of that nature, I think he'll improve in playing structure, and that'll kind of help their offense moving forward. So I wouldn't, yeah, like Harlow was saying, I wouldn't put too much stock into it. I think he'll get better, and for them to pull out a win. Obviously, he's the first number one pick to win his opening start since 2002. Um, so that's obviously like still a good sign, knowing that typically, whoever the number one pick has been in recent memory, they've lost their opening day start. Maybe they've had better performances than him, but at the end of the day, wins and losses are what matters in the NFL. And then I think the development will come in time. So I think, yeah, I wouldn't put too much stock into it.
The
I think
biggest thing,
he'll bounce
the
back.
biggest thing is that they got the win. That's the biggest thing. So
Hmm.
it's like, he knows how to win
Yeah,
games.
yeah, they got the win, but they were given the win. They shouldn't have won that game.
Yeah,
They got the win.
like that.
Yeah,
You
you
got to
got the
win because
win.
Will Levis is an idiot.
Yeah,
Will
you
Levis
got the
is
win, but one little Will Levis is an idiot. Two, you guys scored off a block punt that which you can't ever count on happening at the beginning of a game. So yeah, you give them the win, but it was kind of they shouldn't have won that game. They didn't win that game because of him. So it's like, yeah. And yeah, you can't even say they didn't lose it because of him when their offense really didn't give them anything at all. Uh, and that's kind of what I'm taking away from this. So one, people are coming in that saying like, oh, they look like they could be a playoff team. don't really see it after that week one. We'll see kind of how he develops further along into this year. But remember, I don't know if you guys remember last time we spoke about Caleb Williams. I said his floor is Trevor Lawrence, which is all the talent in the world, can make all the throws, is mobile, can do anything under God's green earth that a quarterback can do. But there's just something that's off. You know, like we all know Trevor Lawrence should be a lot better than he is with his ability. And if you look back when Trevor Lawrence was a freshman and won the national championship at 19 years old, the whole country was saying, "Oh my God, this guy's going to be the first pick in the draft 4 years, 3, 4 years from now, and he's going to take the league by storm." But that hasn't happened. He's done enough to get paid max uh, contract QB money, and it's based off of his ability and I guess that lucky playoff win that Brandon Staley gave him. But it's really not. Has he reached his potential? You think, Trevor Lawrence, from what we thought after watching what he did to that LSU team? Was that LSU they beat? Who they beat in
Yeah.
the NCAA turn? I mean, in the finals, the championship.
LSU.
It was LSU they beat. Who they
No,
beat?
it was Loki
Was it
Bama.
Bama?
Bama?
It was
They
Bama.
probably. I think they beat Bama.
It was
Yeah,
Bama.
it might have been Bama.
Yeah, yeah. Look that up. Well, yeah. So yeah. So yeah, Trevor Lawrence. We all can kind of agree that Trevor Lawrence
Yeah, it was
hasn't.
Bama.
Yeah, we all can agree that Trevor Lawrence hasn't reached his full potential. So, and you look at that, you say why? So I said his floor, Caleb Williams' floor is Trevor Lawrence. His ceiling is Patrick Mahomes. So when you look at what Patrick Mahomes had coming into the league, he was able to sit under Alex Smith for a year, and he was able to be with one of the greatest offensive minds in the NFL history. So imagine if you would have just thrown
Two of the greatest weapons that we've seen.
with two of the greatest weapons, and the Bears have great weapons, but without someone to scheme it up the correct way, it's meaningless as we've seen. Uh, and I feel like the Bears, who is a team who has never had a quarterback throw for 4,000 yards, the only team in NFL history that hasn't had a competent quarterback ever. Uh, you kind of look, and I feel like if they don't change things quick, they're gonna he's gonna be 60% of what he can be. So they need to get Matt Eberflus is a good guy. I liked him in Hard Knocks. Has a cool haircut and beard now. But he just doesn't have enough offensive genius to really kind of take Caleb Williams to the next level. They need to get a guy like Mike McDaniels, someone who took Tua from here to here to really get the most that they can out of Caleb Williams, or you're just going to get for the next 5 years, I guess, good enough to pay him all the talent in the world, but I guess we got our starting quarterback, just like the Jacksonville Jaguars have with Trevor Lawrence, who's good enough to get that contract, somewhat be
Hmm.
competitive, but it's not going to be that next Peyton Manning, that next Patrick Mahomes, which their talent level says that they should be at that level. So that's really what I'm worried about. Caleb kind of not reaching his full potential with this current coaching staff that the Bears have.
Yeah, I could see that for sure. We'll see what happens, how he develops throughout the course of his rookie year. See how he adjusts to from week to week. I think week 2 will show a lot. He's gonna have a big test going to Sunday Night Football in Houston. That should be an interesting matchup.
Oh no, they're gonna get smacked. They're gonna
CJ
get
about
blown
to
out.
cook him.
They're gonna get blown out. This Chicago Bears team is not a good team. Uh, just their offense. Who's their offensive coordinator?
Shane Waldron.
Terrible, god awful, absolutely terrible. There's no reason that you should have Caleb Williams, Rome Odunze, Cole Kmet, DeAndre Swift,
Keenan,
DJ Moore, Keenan Allen, and not fucking be putting on the greatest show on turf. There's absolutely no way. So they need to get the right people in that building to kind of get that offense going. I don't care that he's a rookie. He's good enough to make some shit for it not to look like that. So they need to hurry up or they're going to be stuck with Trevor Lawrence situation.
Caleb likes the bright lights though, so I mean, this week should be interesting.
Yeah, I mean there was a lot of pressure. He was pressing a lot, and that Tennessee Titans defense is tough. in Tennessee. That's tough. But it shouldn't look like that. Should
Yeah.
not look. Yeah, they got the win, but they need to really take a look at their scheme on offense and be like, okay, we need to get some more movement. Like, imagine if Trevor Lawrence was drafted by the San Francisco 49ers and got to play with that offense,
Mm-hmm.
what he would look like. If Brock Purdy looks like this, imagine what Trevor Lawrence would look like. We'd be
Mm-hmm.
talking about him with Joe Burrow and Lamar Jackson and Patrick Mahomes. So they need to get someone in there to kind of get Caleb on that level and not reach his full potential.
Yeah.
So yeah, we'll see kind of, but I don't see the Bears making the playoffs after what I saw week 1.